If I could go back and start my fitness journey over, these are the 5 things that I would do differently, and it's probably not what you think. Hey everybody, I'm Coach Tegan, a metabolic fat loss coach. I like to take a holistic approach to fitness and health. I have learned so much through trial and error throughout my 5-year fitness and health journey, and also with studying biology through undergrad and having an excessive thirst for knowledge when it comes to chronic illness. I have been able to put that knowledge together with fitness to create a very sound pyramid of the basics that you need to succeed in your fitness and health journey that you probably would have never necessarily thought about. I'm a firm believer that y'all deserve the real, so y'all know what time it is. Let's get into it. All right, y'all. First things first is mindset and environment. This is going to be the base of your entire fitness and health journey, but not even just your fitness and health. Business, personal, everything. It really starts with your mindset and environment. And by mindset, I don't necessarily mean affirmations, even though they can work. Mantras can work. I really mean whatever you believe you can do, you can do. And whatever you believe you can't do, you can't do. You cannot outwork a belief system. If you truly believe you don't have enough time to go to the gym, even though your screen time probably says 5 hours, then you're going to perpetually convince yourself that you don't have enough time to go to the gym. And that in itself should be a red flag that you are convincing yourself of disbelief, because you don't even have to go to the gym to lose fat. I've lost about 15 pounds with just home workouts and a good nutrition plan, all because I believe that I could do it. So it all starts with belief. And mindset is not just saying, I want to be this, I'm going to be this. Mindset is saying, I am this. And whatever comes with this lifestyle is a part of my being. I am now associated with fitness, but I haven't always been fit. I haven't always been the person that prioritizes nutrition and health. But now people look at me and they just know that I prioritize fitness and health. And I love that now because, I want you to know that I prioritize myself and I prioritize my health. To be able to wake up and trust my body to be able to do the things that I want to do throughout the day is priceless and much more valuable than a dollar bill for me. But really, it's not about having enough of whatever you think you may not have enough of. It's just about prioritizing those things. There are people that prioritize drinking hundreds of dollars of alcohol on the weekend instead of spending hundreds of dollars on healthy, whole food. There are also people that say they don't have enough time, like I said before, but they'll be on TikTok scrolling for hours. And honestly, you can scroll on TikTok while you're walking. You can do these things. You can be on YouTube listening to your podcast while you're getting a workout in. A habit stacking is possible. So it's not about having the time. It's about prioritizing the time that you do have and creating a lifestyle and environment that fits into your health and fitness goals. So this perfectly goes into environment, which is a part of the foundation as well. You are what your environment is. Did I say that right? You and your environment are one in a sense. And that's not just where you live or where you work. That's also your circle. Your circle usually reflects the old version of you. Okay, so like this is your circle and this is you. And the people that are in your circle really are reflecting an old version of you. Okay, so these are your friends and family that are basically happy with the old version of you. Okay, this technically is your comfort zone. Okay, you are not going to find change in your comfort zone. You're going to have to step out of your comfort zone to find the change that you're looking for. And that may seem a little sad at first. You may feel a little lonely, but this is where your results will kick in, okay? And as your results start kicking in, you will find a new comfort zone with new people and a new environment, and then you will be happy again. And in this new comfort zone, you will have lost the weight that you've wanted to see physically, but also mentally and emotionally. We find ourselves stuck in this comfort zone in our old circle, and we don't realize that our old circle is used to our old habits. And we have to step out of those old habits. And it might feel a little uneasy. It may make you feel a little sad. But at the end of the day, you have to be something you've never been to get something you've never had. I know you've probably heard that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So you can't stay in your comfort zone expecting the same result. And when you get out of your comfort zone, you might be a little sad. And honestly, these people that are used to you being in your comfort zone might be a little sad too. I've talked about this before. Once you decide to change for the better and you decide to do things that people in your comfort zone don't normally do, sometimes they can perceive that they should be doing something. But if they're not ready, then they'll try to basically drag you back down to your comfort zone because this is where everybody was happy. But you have to step out of the comfort zone to then step into your new comfort zone where you will be happy with the results that you have set out to create for yourself. And at the end of the day, this has to do with self-love and I guess you could say self-preservation, but really it's not about loving your friends or your family any less that are not ready to make these changes. It's about loving yourself more than being accepted. I wanted my friends to come with me on my health and fitness journey. And some of them they thought they were ready and they weren't necessarily ready. And that would make me feel like, oh, well, I don't really have to go work out because I mean, they don't really go work out. But it just got to a point where no, I want these results and I'm going to do what needs to be done to get these results, even if it means that I can't talk on FaceTime for 3 hours anymore. Even if it means I can't invite you to the gym if you're not going to necessarily be ready to go to the gym until an hour later because you don't prioritize health like I prioritize health. And I'm not saying that this should separate you from your friends and family in a negative way. I'm just saying that you should be able to create a healthy boundary from your comfort zone going into your discomfort zone so that you can then inevitably reach your new comfort zone where you have made the results stick. And sometimes it actually might mean that you don't have the same family or friend group. And that's okay because at the end of the day, life is about growth and it's about growing toward the best version and the most loving, peaceful version of you. And that may not be with the same crowd of people that got you to one place or another. That doesn't mean that anything is wrong with that crowd of people. And that doesn't mean anything is wrong with you. That just means that y'all are a part of a beautiful tree of life. And this vine is growing this way. And this vine is growing this way. You know, that's kind of a good tree. So nothing is wrong with these two different vines. There's still two beautiful vines on this beautiful tree. But some vines just grow in a different direction. There's nothing wrong with that. It's still a beautiful tree of life. We still have plenty of life to live. And then you never know. Sometimes the vines will come back around and they'll intersect here at a different place in life, Nothing is wrong with growing in different directions than your friends and family, especially if it's leading to you loving yourself more. Anybody that loves you truly and authentically will understand that you're doing what's best for you. And there are just some journeys that we take alone and we reflect within ourselves, not to be lonely, but to love ourselves in a more deep and authentic way. This entire concept caught me off guard when it came to my fitness and health journey because I thought it was just about nutrition and working out properly. But then I realized things were changing in my day-to-day life that I didn't really understand had to do with me wanting to go into a better direction with my health and fitness. Now let's talk about the next thing I wish I knew sooner. Sleep. Dream, 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 dream. Sleep is so important. It's the underrated hero, like literally. I have not even talked about working out and nutrition because it does not matter if you don't have the right mindset and environment and you do not have enough sleep. You can just throw everything out of the window if you don't have these two things that is foundation. And I literally have experienced myself. I was doing all the workouts, I was eating right, but I was not getting enough sleep for all type of reasons, for coming out of college and being a single mom to a toddler. Like, trust me, I get it. Finding the sleep can nearly feel impossible at times, but I promise you it's not impossible. It's just that we live in such a go society and we have TikTok, we have Instagram, we have YouTube. We have an abundance of information at the palm of our hands that it's easy to say, oh, I just didn't have enough time to sleep, when really you were just ingesting so much content, so much digitized information that you prioritize that over your sleep. I've done it myself before, hours on TikTok, hours on YouTube, hours on social media, when really I should be asleep. It's 2:00 in the morning, but I'm too busy on my phone trying to get the last little bit of my free time after my toddler went to sleep so that I can feel like I'm living life. But honestly, you guys, that's not living life. Using the last little bit of the day to squeeze in time that really isn't there, it may feel good for a little while. It's definitely a quick fix for a dopamine hit or to feel like you're fulfilled in your life. But in actuality, setting yourself up for failure for the next day. If you don't know right now, a great morning routine really starts at night. So if you don't have enough sleep for the day, you might as well throw away the entire day. Your cravings are going to be out this world. You'll be a lot more stressed. You're going to be a lot more irritable. It's going to be that much harder for you to accomplish not only your health goals and your fitness goals because you're going to be fatigued. And if you didn't know by now, you don't even lose most of the fat during your workout. You lose most of the fat during your sleep. Your sleep is like a battery for you, okay? Y'all know I like to draw batteries. This is now your sleep battery. okay? And if your battery is low, you're going to be on low battery mode. And you know what low battery mode means? That means you don't have the output that you need. That means all the apps are not working. You're not going to be able to see this body move efficiently if I'm on low battery mode because my sleep is awful, okay? Sleep is so important. How can we live a fulfilling life on low battery mode? Now, I understand having a toddler, having newborn babies, sleep is like out the window. I do really encourage parents to take shifts with sleeping and do what you can to prioritize sleep. And as that child grows up, the more they sleep, the more you sleep. So it's not a lifetime commitment to no sleep for my newbie parents. And I completely understand that it may not be possible, but I want you to know that it is a priority to make happen as soon as possible. I would suggest 7 to 9 hours of sleep so that you can perform optimally every day. And so your metabolism can work for you and not against you. And metabolism is not just for fat loss. It is also for cognitive function, for energy, for daily functioning that you will need to live a healthy and prosperous lifestyle. Let's get into the third part of this pyramid that I wish I knew sooner, which is stress. It's crazy, y'all, because I still have not even touched on fitness and working out because these things actually matter more than it, okay? Stress literally kills. Stress is killing us. And I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. I'm going to keep saying it because I need you guys to know stress is killing. Stress is detrimental, all right? And if you're too stressed out, you're not even going to be able to have the output for your workout. You're not even going to be able to have the results from your workout that you deserve. If you're too stressed out and then you go to have a high stress workout, you're then going to pack on more lower belly fat than if you didn't even do the workout because your body is just too tapped out, okay? So we really got to mitigate stress. And like I said before, I completely understand. I have experienced having 2 full-time jobs, being a single mom to a toddler with a smart mouth, okay? Literally took this boy to the trampoline park, went out for ice cream, did all his favorite things. And I went to text a client for work and he was like, it's always that dang phone. You don't love me, okay? And it's easy to just be like, who are you talking to? Next thing you know, you're arguing with a toddler. Rather than taking a step back, take a deep breath, and you can't just let everything stress you out. And I know that's easier said than done, but things that are perceived as stressful situations are going to happen regardless. And it's not about how stressful the situation is. It's about how you react to them. Because the better you can react to a stressful situation, the better that you can respond to that stressful situation. If you are responding at a high then you're not going to be able to make the most educated response to that stressor. Rather than taking a step back, having a clear thought process where you can actually respond to the stressor in a more productive way, that will not only help your life be less stressful, it will also help your health to understand that maybe these things actually aren't that stressful. Maybe it's just life throwing me lemons and I can make lemonade. When you think about it, there are literally people that have been told that they have weeks to live and they did not let that stress them out. They did not let that be the end all be all. They went and changed their life around. They used that energy instead of putting it into stress and agreeing with the doctor. They used that energy and put it into positivity and put it into changing their life around and put it into eating well and working out regularly. And because of that, those people in those cases have gone on to live much longer than just weeks. So it's not about the thing that's stressing you out. It's about how you respond to that thing. And that in itself can change the effect that it has on your life. You're going to be able to hit your health and fitness goals that much quicker when you're not stressed out, and you're going to be able to retain it that much longer when you're not stressed out. All right, now let's get to what we all would assume is very important, nutrition and hydration. So for nutrition, I like to focus on prioritizing protein, fiber, fat, and carbs, complex carbs in that order, with an emphasis on protein and fiber. What I have found is the more protein that you have for breakfast, the better that your entire day goes. So I like to get in 60 grams of protein for breakfast. And I like to do some spinach or arugula in the morning as well. Having vegetables with every meal is so good for your gut health, good for your digestion. So I know we already know that we should be eating vegetables. So isn't it kind of obvious that we should be eating vegetables for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Yeah. So eating vegetables for every meal has been a game changer for me, as well as hitting my protein intake very, very high early in the morning. It helps me stay satiated, and it also helps my metabolism work that much better when I process a lot of protein in the morning. Because, fun fact, when you digest protein, you actually burn a lot more calories than if you're digesting carbs. Another couple of hacks that I've learned with nutrition is that you should eat with your circadian rhythm. That just means to eat during the day. So I really try not to eat at night. And it's not because I'm trying to purposely fast. It's just because I've found when I'm not eating anything heavy at night, I sleep a lot better. I digest a lot better. I don't deal with bloating and I just don't feel heavy. I like to get all of my food in, no matter even if it's 2,000, 3,000 calories. I like to get it in during the day. So I give my food plenty of time to digest. I know you're probably like, girl, I like to late night snack, and I completely get it. So for late night snacking, I like to do an unsweetened tea, and I'll add ACV or lemon to it to help reduce the cravings. But also it kind of makes me feel bougie. I'm sipping on my tea, relaxing. It helps me decompress for the day. If you do want something a little sweet, I would suggest putting allulose in it because allulose does not spike your blood sugar like regular sugar does. And I get the monk fruit brand from Walmart. I'll put a link in the bio for what that is as well. Last thing I want to touch on with nutrition is a good plate method to use, which is half of your plate should be veggies. This will help you stay fuller longer, as well as help with digestion and metabolism. And then you can have a fourth of a plate of protein and a fourth of a plate of complex carbs. And you can have a little bit of healthy fat in the middle, whether that's like usually avocado or a little bit of oil. Be careful with the oil because it can be high in calories. But if you cut out the carbs, you can give yourself more room for fat. Now, if this sounds a little too complex, you can also join my group coaching program. Well, I will personally make your meal plan and your workout plan for you, so you don't even have to worry about all of this. And I will be teaching you this over a 6-week course with 9 other people so that it can be a lot more comprehensive and it's not everything all at once. And you also could get a chance to win $1,000. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and click the link in the bio. We start Monday and I hope to see you there. If you're dehydrated, then you're going to feel hungry. And I don't want you to feel hungry because then you're going to overeat. You may want to take 2 weeks off if you are like a crazy binge eater. And trust me, I've been there before, no judgment. But I think it's really important that you do incorporate little by little your favorite foods so that you don't then relapse and just want to binge out on your favorite foods because you just haven't eaten them in so long. But to also help prevent the cravings and the hunger, hydration is important. I suggest 120 ounces a day because it's a little bit more sustainable than a gallon a day. And usually what I like to do is to drink 64 ounces before noon. So it's that much easier to hit the other 64 ounces at the end of the day. Now, in my morning routine, I have learned to do about 32 ounces of water right when I wake up. And I put ACV in it and a little bit of Celtic sea salt and a little lemon. This just makes it taste like something. And I also put a little bit of cream of tartar. Like, I know that sounds crazy, right? Like, what is this girl talking about? But cream of tartar has potassium in it, and potassium is a very important electrolyte for us to get in every day. You can overdrink water and be dehydrated because you don't have the right salt to water ratio. So having the right electrolytes in the morning can really start your day off well and boost that metabolism, boost the cognitive function, and boost your energy. It's basically like giving your organs a shower in the morning. So definitely do that, please, and you will definitely feel the difference. Last and kind of least, but it's still important, we have fitness. For fitness, I have found that you really only need 3 to 4 times a week, and you don't even need buku, like ridiculously long workouts. You don't need a 2-hour long workout. All you need really is a 45-minute workout at the most. And I would say, and you honestly just need 4 exercises. And I would say just stick to 3 to 4 sets. You can start with 3 sets and work your way up to 4. And that's really all you need. I'm a big advocate for full body right now because full body is what's going to help you have an entire body recomp situation going on. And I know a lot of women want to round their glutes, but you can do that while doing full body and maybe just add a couple of extra glute exercises. But it's very important that you are toning your entire body to be able to withstand the extra muscle growth that is going to be in your glutes. I used to think that I should just do glutes, and eventually I felt like my arms were a little big and they weren't really matching my glutes, and my stomach wasn't really matching my glutes like I wanted to. And I slowly realized that full body is where it's at because it targets everything. It helps you hit your core in different ways that crunches could never do. And it's just chef's kiss, okay? So if you want to skip all of the trial and error, I would say go straight to full body and you will not regret it. Another big thing that I wish I would have known sooner is that resistance training is king. Lifting heavy weights is really what's going to get you to that dream body quicker and that dream health, because muscle is great for so many reasons. It is the organ of longevity and youth and health. The more muscle you have, the faster your metabolism is. That means the better your cognitive function is, meaning that your brain is actually bigger when you're lifting weights. And you're going to lose fat faster. Muscle actually burns. Fat doesn't burn anything. A lot of people think a lot of cardio is what's going to get them to lose fat. And cardio does lose calories, but when you're doing excessive cardio, you can also lose a lot of muscle mass. That's why you see a lot of runners having a slender build, because they're able to lose fat, but they're also losing muscle mass, which in turn can be kind of counterintuitive, because the less muscle mass you have, the less efficient your muscle mass is going to be. That means the less efficient your fat loss is going to be. So lifting weights, which is resistance training, is going to yield more fat loss. And fat loss is important for fitness and health because visceral fat is connected to a lot of chronic illnesses. We want to lift weights so that we can have the most optimal fat loss. And the best cardio would be walking. I know you've probably heard this before, and I'm going to say it again. Walking is the king of cardio. I like to do one in the morning, one in the night, and one after I eat lunch. It's a great way to decompress and really just unpack the day. You can also listen to a podcast if you want. Other than that, the only other cardio you would need for fat loss is about 15 minutes after your training session, and it can be steady state. I used to be a big HIIT girly. I used to do HIIT all the time. But the more research that I've done, and from my own experience, I have found that you get very hungry and very fatigued doing HIIT workouts constantly, and it ends up being counterintuitive, because if you're very hungry and very fatigued after a HIIT workout, then you're going to be less encouraged to do it, and you're going to be more encouraged to overeat. And I also now know that when you spike your cortisol hormone, which is basically increasing your stress levels, you can then hold on to more lower belly fat, and we don't want that lower belly fat, right? So I would not suggest HIIT workouts for anybody. I would strongly suggest 3-15. You can also do to 20-minute walking and 15 minutes of steady state cardio after your training, and that's going to be more than enough to help you reach your fat loss goals. All right, y'all. The biggest thing I want you guys to remember with this pyramid is slow and steady wins the race, okay? So this right here is my tortoise. Tortoise. I don't know how to spell tortoise, y'all. And this, oh my goodness. Y'all, I don't know what a hair looks like. I'm just not thinking of this. I don't want you guys to forget that slow and steady wins the race. And it's not just about slow and steady. It's about not stopping. It's about going little by little towards your goal every day, so that one day you're going to wake up and you're going to be a completely different person, okay? If you try to go too fast with your journey, the biggest thing about this is that you're going to stop. You're going to burn out. You're going to go fast, then burn out, then go fast, then burn out. And I've been there. The time is going to pass regardless. It doesn't matter if it takes you 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. I'm on my 5th year and counting of this journey. And I'm so thankful that I was able to put in my 1% a day. I was able to fall and get back up again. I was able to make the decision to choose myself and love myself. And knowing this before is giving you a great foundation to understand what you're about to be up against facing your health and fitness journey. I'm so excited for you guys, and I know you guys could do this. And if you feel like you're not ready to do this alone, I have a group coaching program where I will be holding your hand along the way. It costs less than a personal trainer for 1 month, and you get double the information, double the support, and 6-week group coaching. So if you're ready to feel confident, feel energized, actually know what to do with your health journey, know what to eat, have your workout plan made for you in an environment of people that have the same mindset as you, click that link in the bio and join us for our group coaching program, as well as the chance to win $1,000. We start next week. And if you're watching this and we're past the date that we started, then go ahead and click the link and you'll be able to join the wait list for the next group coaching program. We have a great time with each other. We bond and really make sure that you have the support that you need to succeed. For everybody else, have a great day. I want you guys to comment your biggest takeaway. And also, you guys, if you're interested in learning the truth that the doctors won't tell you about chronic illness and fat loss, then go ahead and click this video right here. And I go into depth on the things that I think you guys should definitely know. I will see you guys next time. And don't forget, I believe in you. Do you?